Hey everyone, how's it going today? Today we're going to be looking at a great tune by the excellent mandolin player and just honestly living legend, David Grisman. This tune is called Dawg's Waltz, and for those of you who don't know, obviously his nickname is Dawg, David Dawg Grisman. And so this one is aptly titled, and it's a tune that I really like teaching on the bass. It lays out really nicely on the instrument, and it has kind of a jazzy sound that works really nice on upright. So before we get into my version, I just want you to listen down to this original one. I'll play it through. For those of you who don't know, like in jazz, sometimes the melody of a tune is called the head of a tune. People even use that kind of symbol. So we'll listen to the head, just the melody, before solos, and get a taste for it, and then we'll dig into the bass rendition. And that's the whole thing. The thing about this is it's a little different than a fiddle tune, you know? The way someone might approach playing a straight ahead kind of bluegrass fiddle tune is probably a little bit more note for note for the first melody. What I mean by note for note is that it's kind of the exact version of the melody that they have worked out. You know, everyone has their own kind of versions, but they won't really stray from that in the first go around the tune. In this, you can hear Grisman already improvising on the melody. And that's super common in jazz, right? Like you'll hear the theme of the melody, but then even before solos start, the melody might kind of start diverging from the worked out version and something new will come in. So that's kind of a cool thing to note about this tune. The version that I wrote is a little bit more straight ahead. It's kind of like the same thing all the way through. But it's something to know that like this kind of tune is so flexible as to what you can do. And maybe at the end I'll demonstrate like a different way to play this melody that, you know, works as long as you get the foundational aspects of it and the really structurally sound aspects of it. You can mess around with some other stuff. So one other thing with this bass line the bass version of the melody that I came up with is I'm keeping it in the lower register of the bass. Highest note we're going to play is that E on the G string. So not really going up into the stratosphere like Grisman did. But yeah, so, you know, I just wanted to keep it in a register that's comfortable for everyone. If you're a more advanced player, obviously, you can mess around with putting it up in thumb position if you so choose. But this one is going to fall in that area of the bass that we've been working in thus far. So here's my bass version of the Dawg's Waltz. So as you can see, it's nice and simple. But there are some challenging moments and some interesting things I'm doing with my left hand that I want to break down. So the very first melody phrase, I'm playing A, B, D, F sharp, D, A, C. That's C natural, super important in this melody. And I'm shifting from first position down to half position almost immediately. Check it out. So I'm first position for the first part. For that F sharp, come back down to the D, and then shift into half position to play that C. And that sets you up for the rest of that A part melody. Because you're going down to the B flat. And you got to get your first finger on that B flat. Then back to first position here. Do that whole thing again. So that's the A part. Kind of shifting in between first position and half position, depending on what notes are coming up. In the B part, I'm doing something pretty cool when you get up to this area. If you guys remember the Big Sciota melody that we worked on, this is something I do in there as well. I'm kind of staying up in this rectangular box, right? We got the E, D, B, A, and then that open G string. So I'm utilizing that open G string so I don't have to shift my hand at all. So I'm doing some crisscrossing between those two strings. You know, that may not be the first instinct when you're learning a melody. But I'll just take it from the top of the B part, and when I get there, we'll break it down. 1, 2, 3. So there when I get up to that spot, it's B, D, E, D, B, D, A, G. Open G, so I don't have to shoot my hand down to the lower parts of the bass. And that's a nice little jazzy moment. E, D, B flat, A. Really nice sound there. So those are two kind of interesting things I'm doing with my left hand. And obviously that shift that we talked about in the A part happens 3 times, right? We got AABA form on this tune, which is something else that makes it really jazzy. Most fiddle tunes are AABB forms, like Big Sciota, for instance. So yeah, this is the first one that we're really doing that kind of has a jazzy sound to it. So, before I finish it up, let me just play another version of this melody. You can totally do your own thing with it. It doesn't have to be exactly what I wrote. And if you want to try to play it in a higher octave, or don't worry about, moving those octaves around so much, that's perfectly okay if you want to take it to the next level. But here's another version of Dawg Waltz to close it out. So thanks so much again everyone, and have fun with this. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. Yeah.